right, take a look at your piano keys. You're going to notice that there are two types of keys, white keys and black keys. Don't worry about the black keys right now because we will explore those later. For right now, we are just going to map out the white keys. Before we can take a look at middle C, we need to give the keys names for obvious reasons. I mean, how else are we going to find middle C if we don't know what name it is? So let's start at the beginning with this key right here. The keys start from A and go B, C, D, E, F, G, and then right back to A. To all the people that did not pay attention in English class, kind of sorry for you. As you can probably guess, this pattern of A, B, C, D, E, F, G repeats over and over on the keyboard, so it's really easy to remember. You just have to remember the first 7 letters of the alphabet. Now that we know all the names of the keys, we can find middle C pretty easily. Middle C is the 4th C on the keyboard. So find the very first C on your piano and then count all the C's up until 4. That one is going to be middle C. Awesome. We have found middle C. So now why is it so important?
Why? Well,
I'm going to tell you. If you were to hit any key on the right side of middle C, then you would think that those sounds are high-pitched. And if you were to hit any key on the left side of middle C, you would think that those are low-pitched. And you would be correct. Yup, you guessed it. Middle C is the king of segregation. All right. All jokes aside, let's get into more depth. So if you want to call them low notes and high notes, you absolutely can call them that. However, they do have proper names and even symbols to show them on paper. The low notes are called
bass notes,
and they have this cool symbol right here. The symbol is called a
bass clef,
sometimes referred to as an
F clef,
but that's a story for another time. The notes on the high side are called the
treble notes,
and they have this really cool spaghetti looking symbol called the
treble clef.
This symbol also has a different name,
The G clef.
Awesome. Now that you know all the names for this stuff, we got to see what this stuff looks like on paper so that we can start sight reading all this music. I mean, that's why you're here, right? Right? Before we can get into sight reading, we need to introduce 2 more little guys. The first thing that we need to see is the staff. This thing right here. The staff is comprised of 5 lines and 4 spaces, as you can see. There is a bass staff and a treble staff, but when you put them together, you get what's called a grand staff. That is what you're going to be looking at on the piano sheet music you will be seeing. There are also these little bars called bar lines, and these divide the music into what are known as measures, but we'll do more on that later. The second thing we need to see before we can look at sheet music is timing. You are going to be seeing numbers on the side of your staff.
Look at all those chickens.
For now, let's just worry about the top number. This number tells us how many beats are in a measure. This is a 4-beat measure, this is a 3-beat measure, and this is a 2-beat measure. These are the most common time signatures that you'll be seeing here in the beginning, but what do they mean? Well, remember how I was talking about measures just a second ago? If you have a 4/4 time signature, that means there is going to be 4 beats for every measure. A good way to see this is to clap your hands 4 times and count each time. Count 1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands.
Then repeat that 1, 2, 3, 4.
Clap, 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 clap your hands.
That is a measure with 4 beats. The same is true for a measure with different time signatures. Okay, so our very first piece of musical mastery will be this one right here. This little guy is where middle C sits on our grand staff, because remember, he's a divider. He sits between the bass and the treble. Right here, middle C is represented by what's called a whole note. A whole note gets 4 beats because it takes up the whole measure. That means that we will play only 1 note this entire measure. Easy, right? So with your right hand, I want you to place your thumb on middle C. Count alongside the metronome 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just follow my lead, and you'll get it. Awesome. Now let's do the same thing on the left hand. Now let's look at this little guy. This little guy is called a half note. If the whole note gets 4 beats to a measure, then the half note gets 2 beats, duh. So let's see what we can do on the right hand with these half notes right here. Again, follow my lead and don't be afraid to just pause the video here if you need some more time to figure it out. Awesome. Now let's do the left hand. And now let's do an alternate of hands. Did I say that right? I don't even know if that's right, but we're going with it. We'll do the first on the right hand and the second on the left hand. All right, I want to introduce one last special guy that we have for today. He is known as the quarter note. And you can probably guess how many beats he gets it, but I'm just so excited to see him that I'm going to tell you anyways. It gets 1 beat per measure. Let's see what you can do in this exercise. Let's do the right hand. And now the left hand. Now let's alternate by 1. Go right, left, right, left. Well, everyone, that is the secret of middle C. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll be back for the next video where we will dive deeper into the piano. I just want to remind you guys that whether we eat or drink or sleep or do anything, we are supposed to do it for the Lord. Not for men, but for the Lord. Make sure you remember that in your practicing and in your playing for others. I'll see you guys in the next video.